Hello everyone. It is the most wonderful time of the year, that being the end of the year. In this video, we're going to take a look at all of the Transformers that have been released in 2021. Granted, this year has been a bit better than 2020. In 2020, the pandemic hit and it just sucked. The year just sucked. 2021, everything went a little bit better, but however, the pandemic is still going with this new Omicron variant. The new Omicron variant has changed things a bit, but still we have still survived, and well, I'm just thankful for all of you subscribers, all my 600 something subscribers that I got. I'm really thank you, all my friends, my family who have subscribed, and please, I recommend by at least February of 2022, let's hope we can get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm really hoping we could get there. Please, we just need to get to 1,000, and after that, we'll set another goal for how many subscribers we need to get. So let's get to the video. In this video, we're gonna rank all the Transformers Studio Series released in 2021 from my least favorite to my most favorite. Granted, these figures were like almost one of the best, if not one of the best figures that have been released in the Studio Series line so far, and 2022 is much more packed than this year. 2022 has all the figures that we've been wanting so much. 2022 is going to be way better than 2021 for the Transformer figures, although I'm not so sure about like the about welfare, about people or anything in 2022. Let's hope this whole COVID thing gets away so that we can see each other again and we can be with each other again. So obviously in this video I'm going to be ranking these guys from my least favorite to my most favorite. So let's get started. First off, I have all of the regular Studio Series, that being 70 B127, 70 Dino or Mirage, 72 Starscream, 73 Grindor, 74 Bumblebee, although you can't really see him that much, 75 Jolt, 76 Thrust, 78 Sideswipe, 79 High Octane Bumblebee, and even number 2. I'm just gonna put Stinger within this video also because he is kind of a re-release. Although the other Studio Series buzzworthy that were re-released, I'm not gonna put them in it because they're not really that important to this all that much. And then on the top row we have 8601 Jazz, 8602 Cup, 8603 Blurr, 8604 Hot Rod, 8605 Scourge, 8606 Grimlock, 8607 Slag, 8608 Gnaw, 8609 Wreck-Gar. Now these are like one of the best figures. You're noticing that there is no 77. Well, that figure isn't getting released till next year. But yeah, obviously we're gonna be ranking these guys, and we'll start off to my least favorite to my most favorite. So kickstarting things off, here we have our Transformers Studio Series. So here we have the Transformers Studio Series 79 High Octane Bumblebee, and packaged with him the Studio Series number 2 Deluxe Class Stinger. Now these figures, honestly, though, I'm not saying Stinger was the worst. I'll rank him later. But number 79 was the worst figure. I mean, honestly, this figure, I feel bad by saying this figure was garbage. I mean, honestly. But however, this is a really nice figure, really nice toy for any young kid, any young adult, anybody who wants to collect this. Number 79, I ranked him so low due to the sculpt work on him. I'll take him out of the box in a second to show you how terrible it is. I also stated in my original review that I did not like the sculpt work. It was just too basic. It had not that much paint applications. Honestly, I think the paint applications is what threw me off the most, but also the not premature, but the I don't want to say premature, but the old sculpt that was for the 2014 High Octane Bumblebee was reused again for this figure, and honestly, I really didn't like reusing that sculpt because honestly, the Age of Extinction sculpts back then in 2014 and 2017 for The Last Night, let's just say they weren't the best of Transformers, and honestly, this is why I rank Bumblebee so low. Even though Bumblebee's like everyone's favorite character, I did rank him so low because of this minor reason. Especially where the feet are concerned, they're really annoying. Some of the paint applications that don't go well with the figure. Also like misinterpretations, like for example that kind of rocket launcher he has connected to his arm. I really didn't really like that, although it did seem really fun. But honestly, if you have a big house and then you throw it somewhere, it's really hard to find. It took me an hour to look for it, FYI. But honestly, this figure is quite nice. Honestly, I did the part that I really liked the most was his car mode. That was just the best part of this figure so far. So overall, a really great figure. Now let me show you how he looks like out of the packaging. I'll rank Stinger somewhere else, because even though Stinger has already released before in the initial wave of all the Studio Series, he's the second Studio Series figure to be released. But I'm just gonna rank him within this 2021 because he was re-released. I did want to put in the other buzzworthy figures, but I decided not to because they weren't really that important as this one. So I will take this guy out of the packaging and show you how he looks like. So, High Octane Bumblebee takes 17th place in our roster. Now, granted, this figure, honestly, it was kind of okay to me, but after a while, compared to these guys, it was just the worst. And honestly, even the sculpt work was kind of bad on this figure. If we just take him in for a closer look, we can see that none of this region, this torso region, is completely unpainted right here. This is just merely like kind of like a skeleton area, and honestly, I did not really like that. And these flaps were just quite annoying on the figure, but the one thing I really did like was that head sculpt. My goodness, the head sculpt was really good to me. In my opinion, I really did like the head sculpt, although they should have planted that Autobot insignia on them. It wouldn't have costed them that much on the paint, but oh well. So that's what it is. I would have liked if they painted more of this region. Honestly, I would have ranked this figure probably not in 17th, but probably in 16th place if they did put more paint on this figure, because honestly, as being a figure that has already been released over I believe probably 5-6 years ago, maybe, or even more, I'm not so sure. But obviously this figure is quite old. I can't believe they're reusing this mold, but overall a fantastic addition to the collection. At least we get what Hasbro could have done for the High Octane Bumblebee, and I think it looks really cool, especially comparing with Stinger. Honestly, you could recreate that one scene when Stinger and Bumblebee meet, and when Bumblebee kicks him off the I believe it was like some sort of display stand, but you could recreate that scene. And honestly, I think that Stinger with this Bumblebee looks cool. But honestly, if you were going accuracy by the backdrop, because the backdrop does show when Strafe crashes down, and with Bumblebee and Stinger as they're fighting, that's when Bumblebee kills Stinger and everything. Honestly, if you do remember, Bumblebee had that Camaro look. That Camaro look mixed with Stinger's look, and he did not have this High Octane look. So honestly, I think that was a mistake on Hasbro's part for releasing this figure with this mold. But however, this figure has come out really nice. Not Bumblebee. The Stinger figure has come out really nice. Honestly, just putting him right here, I think both figures look really cool and all. I think this would look like a really cool look. We should have seen something like this in the movie if Bumblebee never changed his alternate form and he kept that weird Camaro look. Yes, that Camaro look. So I think that this looks really cool. Although I feel like they should have just reused the mold for the Transformers Studio Series 15, number 1 and 27. That Studio Series mold that I don't really like. Well, I like it, but I don't. The transformation is really fiddly. So I really wish they would have reused that mold and added some more applications on it. But overall, Studio Series 79 Bumblebee takes 17th place on our roster. Now moving on to our next figure, that being the Transformers Studio Series 8602 Deluxe Class Autobot Cup. And honestly, this figure, it's not terrible by any stretch of imagination. This is where the Studio Series line of 2021 started getting really good. The reason why I put Cup so low is just because everyone else was better than him. But it's that I think it's probably the face sculpt that did bother me the most. I really wish he did look like how he did on the box art, but honestly, animation accuracy, I think he looks better on the toy. But honestly, I really did like the box art and everything. Everything about this figure was really great. Although I feel like the prototype on the back should have kind of matched. how this guy looks like in person. But now with that new Transformers Studio Series Cup that's being re-released on the Buzzworthy line, for some reason Cup is getting released. He does get an animation accuracy look, so I will be picking up that figure very shortly, probably after or maybe even a little bit beforehand this video is posted. But honestly, I think the new remold of Cup is gonna look really good. It's gonna be the same transformation. Honestly, the transformation for Cup, honestly, this is why I also ranked him so low. It was kind of fiddly also. Not saying that the figure was bad, it was really good, but it's just the transformation was just a bit fiddly, and it was just quite annoying, honestly, especially the when you were connecting the arms. But overall, a really nice figure. He transformed in 21 steps from robot to that weird cybertronian looking truck mode. Honestly, I never knew if this was like based on like some sort of truck on Earth, but it was based on a cybertronian truck. I mean, come on, a truck on Earth. I mean, come on, bro. That's not real. But overall, this figure was really great. Honestly, it's just the least of the great figures that have been released of 2021. The worst figure was just that high octane Bumblebee we just took a look at, and then now this figure takes 16th spot on our list. So now let's take a look at Cup in a closer look out of the packaging. So here we have Cup in a closer look, and honestly this figure was actually really well done good. I really did like all the paint applications on him. I just really wished for more cartoon accuracy, and which came true to next year in 2022, or even right now in Target you could get the animation accuracy version of Cup on the Buzzworthy line. You can find them on Target in the action figure aisle. But honestly, I think that this figure was really well done, even for a for a initial release. I think that this figure was really well done. Just taking a look at him, my goodness, all the detail that was on him, the paint applications, the Autobot insignia, the head sculpt was okay. One thing I really did like were the transparent eyes that if light goes through them, it looks like this figure is actually alive. It does look like he did get hit somewhere and his eyes half closed, but however, this figure looks really cool. The sculpt work looked nice, the hands looked really nice. This area, I'm not complaining about it, but I just really wish he would have filled that area in. And the ability that he could dismember his part of his body due to the scene he's based upon, which is that scene in the Transformers 1986 movie when that giant squid was about to eat him and everything. He has his classic gun that looks like how it did in the 1986 Transformers TV show and in the movie. And he also did come with an Energon canteen. But honestly, I would have packaged this more with Hot Rod, but since Cup, I believe, did give it to him or something, I'm not so sure. But honestly, I think it really looks good. It looks nice how it did look like in the Transformers 1986 movie. Although I really did not like this transparent piece of plastic right here, because slowly stress marks will appear, and thank God not have appeared so far. But once they appear, you gotta be really careful with this figure. And I think the transparent plastic on this guy was actually done really tough. And honestly, I think that this was just made to last. Although there is a slight stress mark right here, I barely even noticed right there. But I'm not too worried, because I'm gonna keep these guys packaged in the box for a bit, and then I'm gonna put them on the shelf because my room is getting refurbished and everything. So I have the figures my room is getting remodeled, and I have the figures in the box and everything. So yeah, honestly, I think that Cup looks really good. And just to show you just a scale comparison to see how Octane Bumblebee looks, I think that they look cool. And honestly, this is how our chart is going. Bumblebee, Cup. Now who's next? And speaking of who's next, let's take a look at the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class 86 Bot Blurr. And honestly, this figure was really cool. I really did like the animation accuracy on this figure. It looked really nice. The box art kind of threw me off. I was like, wait, why isn't this guy purple? But I just watched the 86 movie, and I was watching the series also, so I was seeing which was accurate and which was not. The figure was accurate, the box was not. But honestly, for the Deluxe Class, all of the engineering on him was astonishing. The sculpt work was really nice. His blaster, that other little tool he has. I forget what it's called. Please tell me in the comment section down below. But this figure looked really cool. The transformation was fun, nice, easy. Represents how he looked like in the 1986 Transformers film. The sculpt work was nice, the paint application was nice, and similar to Cup on the transparent eyes where they glow in the light, he does have that as well, so I really did like that. Overall, this figure takes, I believe, 15th place. Yes, 15th place in our ranking so far, and I just can't wait till we get to number into the top 5. So I will show you how he looks like in the packaging. Just taking a look at him on the box, I think he looks really nice. Hasbro has really outdone themselves with all of these figures. Sadly not High Octane Bumblebee, but they have really outdone themselves with many of these figures, and I think that this is really cool, and I cannot wait till we get the Transformers 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, and 87 Bumblebee movie characters. And I can confirm that they're all going to be in the 80s. So I cannot wait till we get those in about February, in about, I believe April of next year. So I'm really happy that we could get those figures. And now let's stop talking about the other figures. Now let's take a look at Blurr out of the packaging. So here we have Blurr out of the packaging, and honestly, this figure is outstanding. Honestly, I really love these figures. They're really nice, especially Blurr did look nice, and honestly, when he speaks super fast like this, it was just really funny in the series when Blurr speak really fast, and then he was synonyms and antonyms so that everyone could understand what he's saying, but everyone didn't understand what he was saying because he was speaking way too fast like this. So it was just Blurr was just a funny character in the 1986 series. I really did like how he was kind of introduced in the series. Although it was kind of funny how he was introduced. They just called him out of nowhere, and then everyone's like, oh, okay, it's Blurr and everything. But I just feel like he should have had a bit more of backstory. And honestly, even in certain poses, Blurr looks really cool. Even like this, he looks like he's running fast. Just slowly, you can see that like it looks like he's running fast and everything. He did come with 2 accessories, that being his blaster, which he has in his hand, and this I believe it's like something like to connect metal and stuff. I always forget what it is. Just tell me in the comment section down below what it actually is. And honestly, this figure is actually done really well. And honestly, comparing with the other figures, and we'll just as this guy is on the 15th spot on our roster, I think Blurr is really cool figure. And next to Cup, no, you're not gonna shoot. No, Cup, you're not gonna shoot Blurr. But honestly, I think Cup, Blurr, and all the other 86 figures look really nice. And also, including this High Octane Bumblebee. Sorry, nobody likes you. You're just terrible. But honestly, I think this everything looks really cool. We have, so in our bottom of the list, we have Bumblebee, then we have Cup, now we have Blurr. Now for the next Transformer, that being the Transformers Studio Series E601 Deluxe Class Jazz. Sorry, Jazz, you're falling over the box. Now this figure was honestly a really great figure. I know the review for this guy was overdue, and so are some of my other Transformers. But honestly, this figure was actually really nice. The paint applications were astonishing on this figure. For the first figure released on the 86 series, I think Hasbro has outdone themselves with this figure. A really nice figure. The box work is nice, but who cares about the box work? The backdrop was really nice. Who cares about the backdrop? The figure was really nice. Everyone loves the figure. This figure was really great. I think that this is a really great addition to the collection. Jazz was one of those characters in the 86 series that really loved music, so do I, and he was a really great character, and I'm really glad to have at least G1 interpretation of him on the Studio Series and in my collection, and I think this guy looks really cool. However, some of the transformation parts were a bit fiddly on this guy, especially when tucking the legs, the bottom part of the legs within the upper part of the legs. I think that part was just really one of the hardest parts we could do on this guy, but this figure was really nice. The paint applications, the sculpt work on this figure, and I really do like the sculpt work on these guys. It was really nice. I think the head was really nice. The amount of G1 accuracy on this figure is really nice. And since we got a look at that new 86 13 Cliff Jumper that's being Earthrise remold, and Prime vs. Prime posted a video about it, and we also saw some leaked images. Honestly, I think that figure is really good. I will be trying to collect that figure whenever he's out in retail, and honestly, I think that this figure looks really cool. If any of you get the Jazz and you get the Cliff Jumper figure, you just have that Moonbase 1 cast all done right there. So I'm really anticipated to get this figure. And now, speaking of anticipation, I know you guys are really anticipating to see how he looks like out of the box. So we're gonna take him out of the box right now. So let's take Jazz out of the box and see him in a closer look. Where did that come from? One of Jazz's famous lines in the 1986 film. Honestly, I think that this figure just captures 100%. This is 100% accurate, although I would have liked if we did get some of his boombox speakers. I just really wish that this figure had packaged more accessories, and honestly, I think he would have, but it would have just taken a lot of room. And honestly, taking a look at the plastic placeholder he was in, I don't think there was any room at all to place these accessories. So yeah, I think it was kind of a good decision to scrap them, but obviously they could have tried to attach them on some other figure of any sort, so that and then if you have that figure and then you have this Jazz figure, you can give him his accessories and stuff. But obviously Hasbro didn't choose that, but who cares about that? Honestly, this figure is amazing. The sculpt work and detailing and paint work is nice. The Autobot logo right there is nice. This part that becomes a car, I really did like how this looks like. The silver paint right here, the torso region, the legs region. Although I did like the interior, how it does have some detailing right there. But I really wish they did cover that up. Right here, one of the fiddly parts is just the legs. Sometimes I try to put him down and then this happens out of nowhere. Like I put him down and then this happens. So sometimes you just gotta tab it in. Sometimes it doesn't stay tabbed in, sometimes it does. But overall, a really nice figure. The articulation was great on this figure. The sculpt work was nice. Even how his gun looks like, it looks animation accurate to how he did appear in the show. And honestly, on this camera angle, it looks way better than my review did. And I think it's just because I haven't seen these figures in a while, and looking back on all of them, it brings me back so many memories. And I think that this figure, overall, Jazz takes our 14th spot on our roster. So now just to show you how he looks like compared with the other figures, I think Jazz overall just dominates the previous figures. I think that this figure was really well done. The paint work, the articulation, the everything on this figure was really well done, and I really did like how this figure did look like, especially if you had other 86 figures like Hot Rod, Scourge, Grimlock, Slag, or even some of the War for Cybertron figures. He did really look good with, like, such as Optimus Prime. And honestly, I think that he did look really well with even with the other G1 figures released on the 86 line, such as like Optimus Prime, Tracks. I just brought them out just to show them. But honestly, I think that this looked really cool. So overall, Jazz is a really amazing figure and a really great piece to the collection. I'm not so sure if you can find them in stores anymore, but I'm pretty sure online. I'm pretty sure on Hasbro Pulse. I believe on Hasbro Pulse in the UK he's in stock. But I really hope that this figure could get in stock more often, and I believe he is still in stores, but he's just kind of hard to find right now. So yeah. So overall, let's move on to our next figure on the list, that being the Transformers 02 Deluxe Class Decepticon Stinger. Now this figure was absolutely one of the best figures that they released in the initial wave of Studio Series, and I really did like this figure. Comparing with High Octane Bumblebee, I think he did look really nice, especially in that one scene when Bumblebee meets Stinger for the first time and he sees him head to head, and I really did like that funny scene in the movie where Bumblebee gets pissed off that they were calling Bumblebee stuff and they were saying Stinger is better and everything. I really did like that scene. It just looked funny, and you can recreate that one scene if you just have them posed like this. Although I just feel like, oh yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't like this figure. It's just too kibbly also. But honestly, this figure was really well done for a figure that's over, I believe, 4 years old, or yeah, 4 or 5 years, 4 years old. We'll go with 4. This figure just being 4 years old, I think that this figure is really well done. And honestly, I think that this figure was one of the best figures, and a really great addition to the collection. Really nice Age of Extinction character that we finally got, and I think that this character just overall just dominated the rest of them, and I feel like this guy just deserves a bit more attention than usual. But I feel like people have forgotten about this figure since it's been released for a while. But overall, in this new Buzzworthy line, he is coming back and trying to get back on top, but unfortunately he's not going to get back. He's always just going to be in the middle. But overall, just seeing how he's on the roster now. We have Jazz right there. We have Blurr, Cup, and Octane, Bumblebee. They're off screen right now, but obviously we have these figures right here. And now let's move on to our next character. And this character is probably one of everyone's favorite characters, but not everyone's favorite mold. This is probably one of everyone's favorite characters, that being the Transformers Studio Series number 70 Deluxe Class B127. Now, B127, or Bumblebee if you prefer, is honestly just a Cliffjumper repaint, but obviously I feel like Cliffjumper is the copycat, not Bumblebee. But I really did like this figure. The backdrop on this figure was really nice. It's that one scene when Shockwave, Soundwave, yeah, all the Decepticons, they charge their attack on the Autobots, and Optimus Prime says, "Fall back, get to the tower," or something like that. And then he sends Bumblebee out to Earth and everything, and I really did like that scene in the Cybertronian War in the Bumblebee film. And I think that Bumblebee just captures how he does look like. The transformation was quite easy, although he is a bit kibbly, honestly. I just feel like they could have done a bit better with this figure, especially the whole transformation, everything about this figure, they could have done a bit better. So overall, a really great figure to the collection, and honestly, comparing with the other Bumblebee movie characters, and comparing with the future ones that are coming out, this figure was just really, really cool. So overall, a really nice figure. This figure didn't suck or anything, it was really great. The reason why he's ranked so low, I would have ranked him higher, but everyone else is just a bit better than this guy, and honestly, I think this figure just is really, really cool. So overall, he's a really great figure. Let's take a look at him out of the packaging. Where's B127? Here he is. And honestly, this figure was actually really, really great. Although, like I said, being a Cliffjumper remold, I really did like this figure. The alternate form was nice. The robot form was stupendous, honestly. Except for the back region is concerned, I'm not so sure Bumblebee had this much back cable, a whole inch of back cable, if I do say myself. This figure was really, really nice, honestly. But obviously the front of the car was this, which was pretty odd, while this should be the front, honestly. But it was just pretty weird why this figure was like that. But overall, a really nice figure. I feel like this figure is really, really great. I feel like many people don't pay attention to this figure all that much, or probably they just or Hasbro just released a bit too many of this guy. But this figure is really cool, and like I said, how Cup did get a repaint, so did B127. He got a repaint, but with a golder texture. And he did get and a battle mask without it. We did see that leaked picture. The leaked picture showed an unmasked version of Bumblebee with a different shade of yellow, a repaint of Cup, and who was it? Cliffjumper? Yeah, it showed Cliffjumper, unmasked B, and a repaint of Cup. So yeah, honestly, I will be collecting those figures, and I will try to review them on the channel whenever I can. So stay tuned for the channel whenever I get those guys. So overall, a really nice figure. Although the vibrant color, I feel like the new repaint is gonna look way better. But honestly, I think that this guy is just really, really cool. He scales well with other Transformer figures and with other live action, even G1 characters. I really do like how he looks like with G1 characters more. But honestly, it's up to your personal preference. I really did like the Bumblebee movie, how it was a mixture of the old and the new, and I really did like that and everything. And it was just really, really great. So yeah, I really did like B127's design in the movie. Comparing next to Singer, well, not comparing, just showing you on the chart. We see, and Jazz right there slightly, we can see how he looks, and honestly, I think Bumblebee looks really cool. So Bumblebee takes our, I believe 13th spot. Yes, correct me if I'm wrong. Bumblebee takes our 13th spot on the roster of the Transformers Studio Series 2021. So yeah, mark that down. B127, 13th spot. So overall, a really great figure. I will be collecting that buzzworthy version really soon. I'll try to find him in the store, and I'll try to collect him and do a review on him and everything. So stay tuned for the channel on that. Now, moving on to our next figure. Now, many of you may be disappointed of which character I put here, but some of you will agree, some of you will disagree. So, our next Transformers Studio Series figure will be none other than the Transformers Studio Series 86. Row 7. Dinobot, Slug, and Daniel Witwickey. Honestly, wait, where's Daniel? Oh, he probably fell. But honestly, this figure is really great. The reason why I ranked him so low is just the transformation was a bit fiddly. So Dinobot Slug takes our 12th spot on the list. So overall, a really great addition to the collection. A really nice character, how he looked like in the animated series, and also in this toy. They just match, just like if the Transformers G1 just went 3D and popped out of the screen and came into my review station. I think that this looks really cool. The transformation was a bit fiddly, honestly, but overall really nice. I really did like he came with a Daniel Witwickey figure, although I hate these little minifigs that they were packaging with the 86 Grimlock and Slug. Although I feel like they should just if they're gonna package more minifigs, package them all for the Dinobots. And if we're getting that Spike Witwickey transformable figure in 2022, I really hope that he's not I hope he's not like he's not this exact figure we got here. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be a transformable one, but I just can't wait till I get my hands on that figure. And also this figure Slug was really great. I think that he looks really cool, and honestly this figure was just amazing. So overall, this was a really great figure. Let's take a look at him out of the packaging and see how he fares well to the other Transformers. So upon taking him out of the packaging, he is a really nice figure. Honestly, I think comparing with other figures, Slag or Slug, however you prefer to call him, is actually one of the best characters we have gotten in the main line so far. I really do like it. As the Dinobots in the 1986 movie, they were massive, honestly, and I think Slug just captures the massiveness that he had in the film. Honestly, I think that he looks really cool with the other figures. And just wrapping this what's it called? What's it called again? This part of the video up. Before we move on to the next one, let's see how he fares well with other figures such as B127 and Stinger. And my goodness, he just dominates them and makes them look really small. Makes them look baby size. Honestly, I think that Slag is honestly one of the biggest G1 characters we have gotten so far in our collection. Besides Grimlock being the same scale as him, I feel like Slag is one of the biggest Studio Series figures we have ever gotten, besides Devastator, Grindor, and the others. But honestly, this figure is really well done, and I really do like this. Now let's move on to the next figure on our roster, that being the Transformers Studio Series 74 Deluxe Class Revenge of the Fallen Bumblebee. Now this figure was actually one of my favorite figures in 2021 until the other figures, but this figure was really well done. It was a basic kind of remold / retool of the Transformers Studio Series 49 Bumblebee, but obviously done in a new mold and a new paint job. Honestly, this figure was actually astonishing. I didn't get the original Studio Series box. I did get the ugly Bumblebee buzzworthy version box, but overall a really nice figure. I really did like the original box art more than this one, but obviously this figure is really nice. He did come packaged with the same blaster, and he did come with a Sam Witwicky figure. Finally, we are seeing some human characters packaged with the Studio Series the Studio Series line. And honestly, if they ever do make remakes of like other Studio Series figures in the Revenge of the Fallen movie, probably like an Ironhide or Ratchet, then they should package Mikaela in there or something like that. So they should package more human characters in there, like little tiny little action figures like this, so that it could make the film feel more alive, honestly. Now, let's take Bumblebee out of the packaging and see if this figure lives up to your expectations. So let's take him out of the packaging. So here we have Bumblebee out of the packaging, and he is running with Sam, trying to defend him from any Decepticons that get in their way. And honestly, this figure looks really cool. He's based off the scene in Revenge of the Fallen, when the Fallen is about to win in the movie, and then Optimus Prime combines with Jetfire, yada yada yada, and then they save the world and everything. So this figure is actually really cool. I really want to show you the detail on the Sam Witwickey figure. Honestly, it looks kind of funny. Looks nothing like Shia LaBeouf, honestly. Probably just a head shape, but it doesn't look like him at all. The body, not that much. But honestly, this figure looks really cool. I think that this figure, this little minifig is quite funny with this guy. And with Bumblebee here on the side, I think that this figure just came out really cool. The amount of detail that they put on this figure, the paint, the sculpt work, everything on this figure was really good. I really wish they just painted a bit around these areas, around the thigh area, but that's just a critique I have. And honestly, what to say, a really great figure. So now I believe Bumblebee takes, our maybe 11th place. Wait, let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 11th place. So Bumblebee takes 11th place in our roster, and while Slag took 12th place. Yeah, you're not gonna see Slag that much right here. You're just gonna probably see his legs and all. And honestly, wow, Bumblebee is so small compared to Slag, if you think about it. So I think that this just looks really funny. And here we have B127. So yeah, overall, we can see Bumblebee takes 11th place. Now we're reaching the top 10. So which figure gets number 10? Who's lucky enough to get number 10? That being one of our favorite characters of all time, one of the main characters of the Transformer franchise, Transformers Studio Series 8604 Deluxe, Voyager class Autobot Hot Rod. And honestly, this figure looks like he's got the touch and he's got the power to hold the Matrix. This figure is really great. Honestly, this figure is just one of the best figures in the Transformers Studio Series up until now. This figure is one of the greatest figures that they have ever released. The articulation was great. This figure felt like a masterpiece, honestly, until the Kingdom of Rodimus Prime came out and will abolish this figure a bit, but this figure is still one of my favorites, close to my heart, and I really do like this figure. The articulation on this guy was great, the paint work was great, the sculpt work was great, the amount of accessories was great. He has 2 guns, 1 saw, he had two flame accessories, and 1 Matrix glow accessory, and including the Matrix of Leadership. So this figure came packed with, I believe, 7 accessories, or a lot for a Voyager class, if I do say myself. But honestly, this figure was really great. So upon receiving him out of the packaging my first time, I was blown away. This figure just shocked me so much. My mind just exploded. Now this figure is really great. So speaking of really great, let's take him out of the packaging and see how really great he is. You've got the touch. You've got the power. Yes, Hot Rod does have the touch. He's got the power. This guy is just one of the best Transformers Studio Series that has ever been released. This figure, honestly, including the Matrix of Leadership, the blast effect, everything, is one of the best Transformers that have ever been released. If I did a top 10 of all the Studio Series, I'd say that Hot Rod would take spot number 7 of all the Studio Series that they are. But obviously this figure is in the 10th place in this 2021 ranking video. So overall, this is a really great figure. The amount of accessories he had 2 blasters. I will just bring them out right here just to show you. He had 2 blasters, two blast effect accessories, which were also kind of fire-ish accessories, and 1 buzzsaw. Honestly, they were just really great. This figure is overall one of the best figures and one of the best characters in the Transformers series, franchises, and every continuity that there is. Hot Rod is one of the best characters, and my goodness, the attention to detail that was on him. It looks like this guy just crawled out of the crawled out of my TV screen and hopped inside. And also right here we have him right here. I think that this looks kind of accurate, although it kind of doesn't. I really wish they would have just tried to make this figure look exactly like this. If they made this figure look exactly like this, I'd be so happy, honestly. This figure, if they repainted this guy to make him look exactly like that, and they are doing a repaint or probably even a remold, or probably gonna re-release the Rodimus Prime figure that came with the Kingdom for the Studio Series. They probably are. There's been a rumor of a Hot Rod variant. So the only variant we've seen is like a shattered glass, but there was no shattered glass in the 1986 film. But so my guess is that they're gonna re-release Rodimus Prime, and Rodimus Prime was mostly the size of kind of a Voyager, kind of a leader class for a commander scale. But I believe that they're probably gonna re-release Rodimus Prime or Hot Rod into that Hot Rod variant figure. So now, moving on to our next figure. Oh, before we do that, I did want to show you how this figure does scale with other 86 figures, and even a live action figure. How he scales next to Bumblebee. I think he scales really nice. Honestly, I would love to see Bumblebee and Hot Rod again, like how we did see in the 2017 terrible last night, or the last night. But honestly, this figure looks really nice, and I really do like how this figure scales with with other Transformers. So overall, a really nice attention to detail. So now let's move on to our next Transformers Studio Series, that being Studio Series 73 Grindor and Ravage. Now this is a character I was so excited about, and I still am up to this day. Honestly, this is just one of the figures that they're just like masterpiece figures. These figures are like the best figures that I've ever collected. Number 73 takes our 8th spot on our roster. I really did like the sculpt work. It was incredible. Even though being a Blackout remold, and not many people did get their hands on Blackout, but many people did. And even people who did get their hands on Blackout did in fact like this figure way better. I think it's mostly to the articulated hands, the new paint applications, even the fact that he came with a little miniature Ravage figure. I think that was like the best part of the thing. The miniature Ravage figure, everything, the new sculpt work, the articulation was great. Honestly, this is just a really great figure. Now, the only thing I did not like about this figure is that it was a little bit fiddly when transforming, meaning it was kind of hard to transform and everything. Just when you tap something in, it just doesn't want to stay tapped in, and then sometimes you gotta put a lot of force, but yeah, I'm afraid I could break it or something, but oh well. But this figure was just amazing. This just captured how he looked like in that brief segment in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, and looks exactly how Blackout did in Transformers number 1. Well, shall I say Grindor in Transformers 2. Now, speaking of Grindor, now let's take him out of the packaging and see how much expectation he is worth. And I assure you, he is worth a lot. So here we have Blackout out of the packaging, and honestly, just as I got him my first time, he still remains one of the best Transformers ever, and honestly, all the detail on him is amazing. He did transform into, like, I believe a Marines helicopter. I don't know. Right now I don't care, but this figure is just really amazing. He even came with a miniature Ravage figure, just showing you right here. And the Ravage figure did, in fact, just kind of was a bit of a downer a little bit, but at least we did get a Ravage figure, and I really wish that with this new core class era that we're going through for the Studio Series, I hope that they make a Revenge of the Fallen Ravage that transforms into that miniature asteroid, and then you could insert it somehow into the Studio Series 62 Soundwave. I'm pretty sure they should do that, and if it does, it's probably gonna happen. But overall, a really great little figure. Right here, we see Blackout. Honestly, this figure was actually lived up to all of my expectation, and I think that this figure overall is one of the best figures. Just take a look at all the attention to detail on this guy is just amazing. The head sculpt looks nice. It looks exactly how he did look like in Transformers 1 and 2. Well, I'm gonna call him Grindor. How Grindor looked like in Transformers 2. Well, Blackout did in Transformers 1. The new rust detailing on him. all of the new paint applications on him are great. New molding details toward the tail of the helicopter. Overall, this is a really great figure, and honestly, I think that this figure just about lived up to my expectation. Now, the rest of the figures, obviously, they all live up to my expectation, but I feel like the one that lived up the most was in fact the Studio Series Hot Rod. Ever since I heard of the Studio Series Hot Rod, I just looked at him just a few seconds ago, but the Studio Series Hot Rod, when I initially got him, I was like, this figure, oh, seriously, why are they making G1 characters? But then, this figure just lived up to my expectation, and was absolutely one of the best figures. So overall, I believe Blackout, Hot Rod, and many other figures released this year are just one of the best figures. I did want to change the list a little bit, but I'm just gonna leave it how it is. So overall, this is a really great figure. So now let's put them in order of like the least to best. So previously we looked at Hot Rod, and then before that we looked, I believe, at Bumblebee right here. So yeah, I believe we did look at Bumblebee. So yeah, so here we have Bumblebee, then we have Hot Rod, then we have Grindor. Who is next? And honestly, oh, I did want to show you this, that the Bumblebee, if you could have his hand holding Ravage's tail, just to point that out. If you wanted to create that one scene when Ravage and Bumblebee fight in Revenge of the Fallen, when he's protecting Sam, you could recreate that scene. So overall, a really fantastic addition to the collection. Now let's move on to our next Transformer, that being the Transformer Studio Series 8608 Deluxe Class Gnaw. Now this is a figure that honestly I didn't expect to even make it in the top 10, but this figure was absolutely groundbreaking. This was one of the best figures. I know in my previous ranking video when I ranked Gnaw the least, then I ranked Slag, then Wreck-Gar, but in this one it is completely different. What's his name? Slag is lowered, Gnaw is there, and the Wreck-Gar is somewhere else. But obviously this figure is one of the best figures that they've released. I did not expect them to make a Sharkticon figure, and oh boy, this figure is really fun. Now this figure is a bit hard to get. You can find this figure at Target or Walmart, but it is kind of hard to get due to the fact that there are not much of this figure out, because many people bought multiples of this figure to army build. So there's probably just one like each time you go to the store, there's probably just gonna be one or two there, or even none. Maybe you could find more, but you gotta be lucky to find more. But overall, this is a really great figure. Transformation was fun. I explained it all. I showed you everything, blah blah blah, in my previous video. So overall, a really great figure. Now, speaking of great figure, let's take him out of the packaging and see how great he actually is. Dun 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 dun. Here we have Gnaw, and honestly, for Sharkticon, I think he's pretty funny. I just call him a Piranhacon for all I care, because he looks nothing like a shark just for the fin, but honestly, he has more piranha resemblance than ever. But this is a figure that is absolutely amazing, and I believe he takes our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th spot. Pretty ironic. He's Studio Series number 8608, and he takes the 9th spot on the top 10 list, I believe, or he takes the 8th spot. I'm not so sure, but whatever. He takes, I believe, we'll just call it the 9th or 8th, somewhere around there. But he takes the spot on the roster, and I think that he overall is just an amazing figure. This is probably one of the best interpretations of a Sharkticon we could get in 2021 or ever. This is just a figure that looks amazing. The sculpt work was nice, the paint work was nice, the detailing. Where the legs are concerned, that's where I have my critique, that the hinge joints, that sometimes they just go like this, but that is mainly for transformation, and when standing it just looks really weird, but overall it looks cool. But then there's just this area about that looks like his whole foot just sliced off, and I did not really like that. I really wish they would fill in this area with some sort of plastic or something to make it look like it wasn't chopped off or anything. But overall, a really great figure. the ability that he could remove the back kibble is amazing without even having to unscrew anything. It's like it's an option you could have to have a kibbleless version or kibbleful version of Gnaw, and I think that this is a really great addition. The eyes look amazing, even everything on this figure. The articulation is amazing. I feel like this is the most articulated figure we have gotten in the Studio Series line so far, besides Devastator and everything. Besides there, I feel like this is one of the best Studio Series figures we have ever gotten. So overall, a really nice addition to the collection. I do recommend picking him up. He's like about $20. You can get him at Target or Walmart, whichever you prefer. So I recommend getting this figure and seeing how he scales next to other figures, just Blackout or even Hot Rod. We'll just move them right here. Honestly, he's just really small. And if you do remember that one scene when Hot Rod and Cup, they were trying to fight the Sharkticons, this about resembles the size of how the Sharkticons did look like in the 1986 movie, and even closing the jaws. He looks cool and everything, but I just like to keep it like this. So overall, that's Transformers Studio Series 86. Now we move on to the next one on our roster. That being the Transformers Studio Series number 76, Voyager class Decepticon Thrust. Now this is a figure I did not expect to make it into the Studio Series line. This is a figure inspired by the Bumblebee movie Cybertronion War. He did appear just for like 3 seconds of the film, like a few more honestly, but he did appear just for a little bit in the film, but was never seen again. I believe he was probably killed off by Optimus Prime during the battle, but he has the same Studio Series 72 Starscream sculpt, which we'll take a look at later. But this is a figure that I did not expect for Studio Series to ever make. I was expecting a Thundercracker or Skywarp, but not a Thrust. So if there's a Thrust, could there be a Ramjet or a Dirge? Who knows? We'll wait and see until 2021 or 2023. But obviously this is a figure that no one was expecting, not even myself, like I said. But overall, it's a figure that's really great. It transforms into a Cybertronian jet. Same alt mode as Starscream, and same body mold, except where the head is concerned. There is a bit of difference right there, and obviously this guy is probably like the tallest Seeker we have in the collection so far due to the cone head thing. But overall, I think this is a really great figure. And speaking of great figure, let's take him out of the packaging and see how well he does look like. Here's Thrust out of the packaging, and my goodness, this figure looks really cool. The amount of attention to detail that they've given on this figure is astonishing. This figure is honestly one of my favorite figures I have in my collection. But overall, I ranked him just probably in the 8th spot in our roster. And I know I said 8th spot, which I should be saying 7th, but I made a mistake earlier. Hot Rod is not in the 10th place. He is in the 11th place. Sorry, Hot Rod, you're never gonna get to the top 10. Got to the 11th place, but oh well. But I feel like I should just change the ranking between Grindor and Hot Rod, because I believe Hot Rod deserves a little bit more better. But overall, I think Grindor, well, I'll just keep it like that. Grindor is a little bit better, but I think that that overall this just looks amazing. The attention to detail that they put on this guy was astonishing. It was groundbreaking, if I do say myself. This figure was actually one of my favorite figures I got earlier back, I believe somewhere around September. I'm not so sure, but it was earlier this year, which I got this figure, and I got this guy with Wreck-Gar at I believe a Target. So yeah, check out those videos if you want. I did reviews about them and everything. So yeah, if you want to check out those videos, you can, and I recommend you should, because they really are great figures. And honestly, this figure, actually, I feel like he looks like a character that would take on Optimus Prime in a battle. So this figure looks really cool. Just comparing how he looks like to other figures such as Grindor or even Gnaw. Right here we can see his scale with Gnaw and Grindor, and we can see how big this figure is. And I feel like this is a real good image, like for Decepticons and stuff. I feel like this looks really cool. So now after Thrust, then comes our Transformers 8606 Leader Class Dinobot Grimlock. Now this is a figure that I knew it would make into the top 10. Such a great figure, if I do say so myself. This figure was really good. The amount of detail on this figure, the paintworks, the sculpt work, everything about this figure was good. I mean, the blaster, except the wheelie figure. I mean, come on, why can't you transform? I mean, come on, bro. But overall, even the wheelie figure was okay, although I just feel like it was just a waste. It was just a waste of potential. They could have made a transformable version, but overall, you could have like that little statue version of Wheelie somewhere in the collection right there. So overall, yeah, it's not a total waste, but overall, I feel like they could have done a bit better. Grimlock, on the other hand, my goodness, this figure felt like a masterpiece. The amount of detail on this guy, everything about this figure was really cool. The blaster was really cool. Everything about this figure was great. The attention to detail that there is on him, the fact that he could transform into the T-Rex mode, and he looks G1 accurate. That's the thing also. He looks exactly how he did in the 1980s cartoon series. So I think that this figure just deserves to be in the top 10 more than anyone. This figure is just the best. Honestly, comparing next to the other Dinobot, Slug, like if I were to choose between the two, I'd definitely choose Grimlock more than this guy. And they both look amazing. Both of them had minifigs that did not transform, which was a pain. Well, a pain, you know where, but it was just a pain. Honestly, I did not like that they just packaged figures that could not transform. So yeah, I'm really glad that DNA Design did release an upgrade kit for Grimlock. I'm not so sure if I'll pick that one up, but they did release an upgrade kit for Grimlock that gives you a convertible wheelie. And honestly, I think it looks kind of interesting, but I wouldn't put my hype all that much for it and everything. But yeah, overall, this figure, with or without an upgrade kit, is amazing. Now, just showing you how he looks like on our roster. Here we have Thrust. So let me move Grimlock right here. Here we have Grimlock, Thrust, and here we have Gnaw. So overall, we can see how our roster is growing, and we can see Grimlock, Thrust, Gnaw, and after that we have the rest of them. So overall, a really great figure to add to the collection. Now, one more. Now let's take a look at one more. Now here is where things get interesting. Now we're in our spot number 6, and to take spot number 6 goes to Transformers Series 8606 Deluxe. Voyager class Scourge. Now this is a figure that, oh boy, this was just like an amazing figure. The transformation was a bit fiddly at first, but overall, once you get the gist of it, this is a figure that you want to lay your hands on. And many people wanted to get their hands on Scourge because there was many versions of Scourge throughout the Transformers continuity, Generation 1, and we saw like Scourge, we saw all the other sweeps had the same body. Well, Hasbro made a good decision to make the Studio Series 86010, which I should have included in this video, but I didn't because his initial release date was in February of next year. But I didn't put him in this video because his initial release date was in February. But he's in stores for some reason. So yeah, my mistake on that. But overall, this was a really great figure, and many people bought multiples of these to build an army of sweeps and stuff, having Scourge lead them and everything. Now I believe many people will still want an army build with a Voyager class sweep that's coming out. And also, if many people did miss on this figure Scourge, many people will want to pick up sweep. So overall, this is a fantastic addition to the collection. The amount of detail that's on him is amazing. I know I did not show the box for Grimlock. That was my mistake. I just forgot to. But overall, here's just the box of Scourge, and honestly, my goodness, this figure is amazing. So speaking of amazing, let's take a look at all the amazing qualities on the figure itself. Scourge, the tracker, and his huntsman, the sweeps. In the words of Unicron, that's what I said. But anyways, this figure is amazing. Honestly, I think this figure is one of the best figures that they've ever made. I wanted to include the Voyager class sweep in this video, but because, like I said earlier, his initial release date was in February of 2022. Even though he's in stores right now, I did not want to include him in this video. I'm sorry if I disappointed anyone, but I believe this wouldn't change that much. I'd say he'd just go before Scourge. Honestly, before this figure, he'd just go before. So honestly, yeah, I do apologize if you were expecting that figure in this video. But overall, back to Scourge. This figure is obviously a really great figure. The transformation was fun. It's a bit fiddly at first, but once you get the hang of it, it becomes easy. This is a figure that I know many collectors like myself were so excited and eager to get, and when we got it, ooh, I jumped with joy. I could not just put this figure down. This is one of the best figures of 2021, and also, this figure is kind of hard to find. Like I said, many people wanted to army build, so this figure is kind of hard to find. But all the attention to detail on this figure, like the Decepticon insignia, the color variations, the blast effect that he does have, his feet, everything. The sculpt work is nice. There are not that much hollow gaps on this figure at all. It's apart from the backside, but I wouldn't bug too much about that. I think this whole region closed up really well. Looks not that much kippily and stuff. So overall, I think that this is a really great figure. So speaking of great figures, let's take a look at the figures that came scoring before him. That being Grimlock. Now that I see it, I never really scaled Grimlock and Scourge that much. Now how I see it, I feel like Grimlock is just way too big. But honestly, I think this is a perfect size. And how he looks like with thrust, this is what we have on our roster so far. So now let's see who is next. So the next Transformer on our list is none other than the most ambitious, the most quite annoying voice actually, the Studio Series number 72 Voyager class Starscream. Now this is a figure that no one, not even myself, was expecting. Just like Thrust, I did not expect them to make a cybertronian Starscream. I was expecting a cybertronian Soundwave or Shockwave, but not Starscream. But now, seeing that brief glimpse he does have before Shockwave does command him to destroy the launch pad, when Shockwave says, "Destroy the launch pad, let none escape." He says something like that. Starscream and the other Seekers, they go, and then they all try to go attack the Autobots and everything. I feel like this figure is just amazing. When I got this figure, I legit at the store, I screamed. I was like, oh my god. I was just so happy when I got this figure, because this is a figure that not even I could put down. This is such a great figure. Obviously I have to put it down whenever I'm gonna go somewhere or do something, but obviously this is a figure that honestly no one could put down. This is a really great figure and takes our top 5 spots. So overall, if you know the rest of 2021's Transformers, you can make a guess of who could be at our number 4, number 3, number 2, or number 1 spot. So overall, this is a great addition to the collection. Really nice figure, and I'll show you all the nice details he has in store for us. So without further ado, let's take a look at all the details he has. I nominate myself as the new leader of the Decepticons. Here we have Starscream right here with that annoying voice that he always had in G1. Not to disrespect the actor, he did a wonderful job on making an annoying voice for Starscream. But honestly, this is a figure that honestly I wasn't expecting, and it looks really cool. Oh my goodness, even in detail, I'm still like just so like excited about this figure. But I'm gonna get so excited at number 1 and number 2. But honestly, this is a figure that is just one of the best Transformers anyone could get their hands on in 2021. So this is a figure that I really did like. When I picked him up at the store, I picked him up with Dino and B127, so I picked them up all at the same time. So honestly, I did get a whole wave, I believe 13, I got a whole wave 12 at that time. So honestly, it's kind of funny. I got the whole wave in one sitting. It was just like about, I believe, $70, I believe, because 2 Deluxes and 1 Voyager equals $70. So yeah, I spent $70 on Starscream, B127, and Dino. So yeah, Honestly, this is a really great figure. I do recommend you pick this figure up. It's about $30. So yeah, this figure is a figure you cannot put down. And also, comparing to another Seeker-like character like Scourge, honestly, I think they share a similar design, and I think they look really cool. Grimlock as well does look really cool, and then right now we see how our roster is growing. Now we just need four more characters right here to complete all of the characters that have been released in 2021. Now, moving on to spot number 4, one of people's favorite Transformers ever. Many die-hard Dark of the Moon fans really love this guy. Many people are sad that the actor did die. Well, the Transformers Studio Series number 71, X-Class Autobot Dino. Now, wow, this figure was just one of the best figures, and I'm getting more excited, getting super excited for the top 3. But this is a figure that I was mind blown. I really wanted a Dino figure in the collection so bad to complete the Dark of the Moon cast. All I need is the Dark of the Moon Ratchet, and sadly I don't have him just yet. And all we need to complete the Dark of the Moon cast is if they give us a Wheeljack, and if they give us a repaint / retool of the Studio Series 14 Ironhide, like give us as much vibe as possible for every movie. But this figure lived up to my expectation. Although sadly, due to copyright issues, he did not transform into a Ferrari. So annoying. Hasbro, just get a license. But honestly, this was a figure that everyone loved. This is a figure that I myself included. This is the best figure one of the best figures you could get in 2021 for the Studio Series line. The articulation was nice and all. I did have some critiques with the legs and everything, not going side to side, but I can live with that. And I did like that the head sculpt did match how he did appear, kind of. But one thing I did not like is that like I said, the articulation of the legs was limited, but I'm not so sure about the waist. I haven't checked that just yet, but I'm pretty sure that there wasn't any. I'm gonna check that out right now. But obviously, this is a figure that looked really cool. One of the things that this figure did lack was his whips. I mean, he needed his whips that showed up in the Transformers Dark of the Moon when he latches his whips on Hatchet and stuff. So I really wish they would have equipped that also besides his main blades he always uses. So I really wish they equipped all 4 of those weapons that he used in the movie, just so that we could get as much Dino vibe as possible. But with the Studio Series Jolt, which is somewhere out there, because that figure gives us Electro Whips, which can also act as whips for Dino. I did show you in my Jolt video or my ranking of Wave 14, I believe. I did show how to insert it and everything, so I'll show you again later on, probably toward the end of this video, or I'll just display him like that later. But overall, this is a really great figure. Now let's take a look at all the greatness he has in a closer look. So here we have Dino in a closer look, and my goodness, this figure is just one of the best figures we could get in 2021. I feel like this figure is just the best. The detail, not the amount of accessories, but the attention to detail on the accessories was amazing. The card form was nice and all, but I really wish we could have gotten that Ferrari mode. But honestly, this is just accurate to how he appeared in the film. We can see the tires, they look really cool. They do kind of resemble Ferrari tires, so I'll give Hasbro credit on that for trying to make it look as accurate as possible. The blades look really nice. These little areas right here look nice. The head sculpt in personal, I think that they did an astounding job with the head sculpt. Although I really wish they would have probably did something else to make it look more lifelike. Probably added some silver paint applications on the bottom right here. But overall, a really nice figure. Probably they should have added more paint apps, maybe near these regions a little bit. But overall, a really nice figure and everything. The back did kind of mess up my critiques and all due to this whole area folding and the risk of breaking it. So yeah, this is I would have ranked Dino a little bit higher, but if it wasn't for that issue, I wouldn't have ranked him so low. But honestly, this figure is just one of the best figures you could get in 2021, and Dino, without a doubt, is just the best Autobot ever. In the film, he was amazing, and even in toy, he is amazing. So Dino takes our 4th spot on our roster, and just showing you how our roster is scaling right now. Here we have Dino, Starscream, or what's left of him, Starscream, and we have Scourge. So yeah, so overall we have these guys right here, and who is in our third spot. Now pay attention close, here comes the top 3. Now the top 3, here are the characters in the top 3: Wreck-Gar, Jolt, and Sideswipe. So we have those characters within the top 3, and those aren't the order that they're in though. But so yeah, we have those characters in the top 3. So overall, let's take a look at what character is in third place. That being the Transformers Studio Series. Studio Series number 8609, Voyager class Wreck-Gar. And wow, this is a figure that I myself did not expect for Studio Series to make, but they made it. And honestly, this figure was just packed with so much detail, so much articulation, that this figure felt like a masterpiece. Although I feel like my only critique was just no wrist rotation, but that was it. But overall, this is a figure that anyone will love. This is the best Wreck-Gar figure we can get in 2021 or anywhere. This is a figure that everyone will like. I guarantee that if you pick up this figure, you will like it. If you do not like it, oh well, that's your problem. Just kidding. but this is a figure that I really like this figure, and I really hope you guys do like it as well. Kind of one issue I do have is just this part just being a little bit loose, but I think that's just my copy. If it's just a universal problem, just please tell me that in the comment section down below. But I think that this is a figure that looks really, really, really cool, and I really like how much detail is applied to him. The head sculpt is nice, the upper and lower torso, the legs, the arms, everything. Even they managed to have no back kibble at all on this figure. That is astonishing. That is groundbreaking for Hasbro. No back kibble on a Transformer. So I was not expecting this. The amount of detail, the paint, everything on this figure was amazing. So Wreck-Gar takes our third spot, and I know I did not show the box, I know, but just check out my review or check out the ranking video of this guy. But on the previous wave something ranking video, and you can see. And I think that now we have just 2 more characters left. So now let's move on to our Transformers Studio Series 78 Deluxe Class Autobot Sideswipe. Wow, this is a figure I was debating on the most. Should it be Sideswipe number 1 or number 2? Well, Sideswipe made it to number 2, just for the anticipation hope. But obviously, this figure is amazing. The fact that he, even though he is a remold of the Dark of the Moon Sideswipe that we got in 2019, I believe, he is still a really great figure. Similar to the same mold I got with my first Sideswipe figure and my first Studio Series figure, in fact. But this is a figure that I recommend so much. You can find him at Target or Walmart, however you prefer. But this figure is really nice. The attention to detail, the paint is what actually drove collectors crazy about this figure. I know many people missed out on the initial Sideswipe, but now with this Sideswipe, you could have a second chance on getting this figure again. So overall, a really nice figure. I do recommend him. He transforms into a Stingray Corvette. Yeah, a Chevrolet though. And obviously, this is a figure that I do recommend you should get. And honestly, just taking a look at all the detail on him, it just looks amazing. So right now, we'll take a look at Sideswipe in a closer look. Clear path. So here we have Sideswipe right here, and honestly, this figure, just as he appeared in Dark of the Moon, one of the best characters, and honestly looks so accurate to the movie. This just looks so accurate. I mean, come on, you gotta get this figure. Even his accessory, he comes with 2 blade accessories, although they're not the most accurate, but I'll give Hasbro credit for at least trying to cover up some parts of the car. But his blasters, they are accurate as well. You could attach them on the back to create some sort of jetpack, or even the blaster he does use to slice up sideways in the Transformers Revenge of the Fallen in the beginning of the film. So yeah, you could use this figure for multiple ways, and honestly, this figure is really cool. Just take a look at all the detail on it. Let me just put my hand right here so you can see more detail. Honestly, I feel like this figure, Hasbro has really outdone themselves with this figure. This is everything I asked for paint on this guy, remold on this guy. Honestly, this is really great. The kibble, it's okay, but how else are you supposed to transform it? It's really hard to create such a small kibbleless figure besides Wreck-Gar. But honestly, this is a figure that's really cool. So who we have right now so far? We have Sideswipe in 2nd place. Then we have Wreck-Gar in 3rd place. Then we have Dino in 4th place. One Transformer left. That being none other than the Transformers Studio Series number 75, X-Class Autobot Jolt. Now this is number 1 on our list. Number 1 on, I believe, everyone's list. I feel like this is a figure that this was just like the most amazing figure I got in 2021. Even though Jolt only appeared for like 15 seconds of the film, he just played an important role in saving Earth in the Transformers movie. The amount of accuracy on the card form and what Hasbro could pull off on this figure, the amount of accuracy we saw in robot form, and we only see him for like only a few seconds, but I did capture most of it, and this figure is 100%, if not probably 95% accurate to the character. Honestly, this is the best Transformers Studio Series you could get in 2021. Now we are entering 2022 in about a few hours, so yeah, in probably 12 hours we are entering 2022. So yeah, I am so yeah, this video is going to be posted on December 31st, 2021 on exactly 12 p.m. So, and then you're going to have 12 hours till 2021. So obviously Jolt takes on spot number 1 on our 2021 list. So now let's take him out of the packaging, take a look at him. After that, I'll wrap up my video and show the entire 2021 Transformers. So let's take a look at Jolt in a closer look. Electrify, transport those afterburns. So here we have Jolt ready to electrify, and he electrified his way to the top 10 and the top of 2021 of the Transformers Studio Series. And wow, this guy is the best. No doubt about it. No cap. This guy is legitimate. This guy is legit the best Transformers Studio Series you could get in 2021. Honestly, the amount of detail on this guy, especially the legs where it's concerned, the body, the torso, even the head sculpt, even though we didn't see his face that much, I feel like this is the best Hasbro could do, although I feel like they should have painted a little bit more blue. The back, I had some issues with the back, but I don't know, I'll just allow it. But overall, Jolt takes spot number 1, even with his electro whips. He whipped all the other Transformers till he got to number 1, the top spot on the list. He's the head honcho of 2021, the best Transformers Studio Series we have ever gotten. So yes, Jolt is by far the best Transformers Studio Series we have in 2021. So overall, this is about all the ranking of my Transformers Studio Series 21. So it's taking spot number 1, Jolt. Taking spot number 2. Wait. Sideswipe. Let me just fix Jolt's leg. Let me just fix Sideswipe. Calm down. Let me just fix Jolt's leg right here so that he could stand better. Right? Yeah, I'll leave it like that. Jolt as number 1. Sideswipe number 2. Sideswipe number 2. And Wreck-Gar number 3. Yeah, we'll just leave Sideswipe like that. And then we have, I believe, Dino as number 4. Then we have Scourge as number 5. We have Scourge as number 5. And I'm not going to show any more on the camera. I'll just tell you who's next. Then we have Grimlock Starscream number 5. Scourge number 6. Grimlock number 7. Thrust number 8. Gnaw number 9. And I'm still debating Hot Rod and Grindor. We'll just put Hot Rod in the top 10. Hot Rod number 10. Grindor 11. I forgot the rest of the list. Go back in the video. But overall, this is a great video. So I'm about to end off this video showing off all the Transformers in 2021. Please excuse the messy backdrop, but overall, these are all the Studio Series released in 2021, starting from number 70 to all the way to 8609. we have a bunch of new Transformers Studio Series. Thrust, Wreck-Gar, B127, Gnaw, Dino, Cup, Slag, the Daniel Witwickey figure, Grindor, Stinger, a reuse of Stinger, Bumblebee, Sideswipe, Jolt, Grimlock, Wheelie, Starscream, Ravage, Hot Rod, High Octane Bumblebee, Jazz, Scourge, and Blurr. Here are all the Transformers released in 2021. We have got a lot of great figures. Honestly, this year has packed quite a few surprises. This new Omnicron variant, this Unicron, this new Omnicron variant that came out. But still, Hasbro is still pushing, and we still got all of these great figures. We got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 new figures, and 19 reused new figure. But overall, this is really great. You could get number 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 78. Unfortunately, no 77. It's releasing next year. 79, number 2, 8601, 8602, 8603, 8604, 8605, 8606, 8607, 8608, and 8609. You could get all of these figures at Target, Walmart, Amazon, as Hasbro Pulse, or probably the worst source ever, eBay. But TF source, you could get them all there. These are really great figures. Now let me show you how all the boxes do in fact look like. Here we see all the figures. Here is in fact a whole array of the boxes. So here we have B127. Let me just bring in for a closer look. We have B127, Dino, Starscream, the Grindor, Bumblebee, Jolt, Thrust, Sideswipe, High Octane Bumblebee, reuse of Stinger. Now moving on to the 86 line, we have Jazz, Cup, Blurr, Hot Rod, Scourge, Grimlock, Slag, and what's this guy's name? Gnaw and Wreck-Gar. Here is the whole array of all the Studio Series released in 2021. So overall, really great figures. I really hope you could get them all. If you can, tell me in the comment section down below if you'd rank these guys the same way, change it up, or not even get them at all. Who knows? But thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a nice comment. Let's hope we can get to 1,000 subscribers by February. Let's hope we can get there. Please, guys, ask your friends to subscribe, even if they don't watch my video. Just tell anyone you can to subscribe to my channel, please. It means a lot to me, and I really do like this. This is a really great layout of all the Transformers we have released. Everything. Stay tuned to the channel if you want more Transformers videos. I know you've seen quite a few of mine. I will keep doing reviews. I'll keep doing reviews till the war for Cybertron ends, and I think it already ended. But until Studio Series ends, and I'll just keep on throwing those reviews out there. So thank you for watching. I thank you for all of your support, guys, for like giving me all these subscribers and everything. Thank you all very much. Please subscribe, leave a nice comment, leave a like, click that notifications bell. No, I want you to smash that notifications bell, and I want you to kill that subscribe button. When you see that subscribe button, kill that guy. Now, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a nice comment, and until my next review, I will see you then. Thank you for watching.